Alright everyone, this is Fan95 again. It's time for part 2 of my Transformers 4 spoiler talk and review. So we're going to start right off with the car chase where we left off last time. So this car chase is definitely one of Michael Bay's best. I mean, it is just a pure awesome car chase. I mean, yes, we did not get that much of Transformer influence. I mean, we had Optimus and Lockdown fighting in the background. But as far as just a car chase goes, it was just beautifully done. There was one thing that I've noticed. It took a couple viewings to actually notice this, but you know, there were the slight subtleties of like, hey, maybe this Chevy Sonic is a Transformer. And then another thing that has it going towards me thinking it was supposed to be a Transformer was there was a part where those rally fighters are driving through the cornfields, and then they come out and one just slams into the side of the Chevy Sonic. And there's glass that breaks, but that's it. If you look at the car and if you look at the rally fighter, there is absolutely no damage on either of those vehicles. So I found that quite strange. But come to find out, there was actually an accident in filming. That was not actually supposed to happen. That rally fighter was supposed to come out behind the Chevy Sonic in that sequence, so that could, you know, probably have it going for it there, you know, with the no damage thing. But I just found that quite odd. There were so many things that were hinting at the Sonic being a Transformer, none of them came into fruition. But you know, that could really just be either way of like either you know, an accident in filming, or it actually, you know, could kind of also hint towards it being a Transformer. But of course the Sonic was not a Transformer, as we found out in a little bit, when and that is when the chase came to an end. And then, oh, but also there was, before I get into that, there was also that whole awesome sequence in the parking garage, I think it was, and that was just really nicely done, and I loved the jump out, and you know, that was really good in 3D. And so the chase ends. There was a problem with Shane's car. They had to get out, and then this is where we see the giant explosion that Lockdown creates by throwing his grenade. And that was, you know, the sound during this explosion was like really cool. It was probably something that Skrillex did. You know, he worked with some of the sound on Transformers 4. So it was a really cool sound whenever Lockdown's grenade went off. But this is where we meet the end of Lucas's character. Lucas ends up just being frozen in time in the Transformium, and it's really it was really a surprising scene for me. I was not expecting Lucas to die. I was expecting you know, something to happen in Texas, and then Lucas is like, all right, I'm out, or something like that. But Lucas actually had a very gruesome death in this film. It was not expected at all. It was actually probably one of the darkest moments, maybe if not the darkest moment of the Transformers movies so far. This is, I think, the first time a main human character has been killed off like this. Even though he didn't have a ton of screen time, you could consider him a main character. Oh yeah, so after Lucas's death, we have Lockdown on top of that building, and he just jumps down in slow motion. This whole sequence here was just done beautifully. He jumps down. You know, he's a little out of focus, so then he gets in focus, and then after that he transforms behind Lucas into the Lamborghini, and just got the fire glistening along the car there, and you have Lucas there as like a statue in the middle of everything, and it was just a really like whoa type scene. I mean, that was definitely something that made you say whoa. Next, we have, yes, we have, you know, Cade. He ended up grabbing one of those little mini flying drone things, and so he's looking at it, he's experimenting with it, and we see the demise of Leadfoot. So Leadfoot perishes in Transformers Age of Extinction, and you know, of course, also the footage of Ratchet dying is on there as well. But not completely, we just kind of get bits and pieces. So we see Leadfoot dying, and apparently there's supposed to be a lot longer sequence with him and Bumblebee running from Cemetery Wind, but that ended up being cut from the final version of the film. I guess that's why we saw Leadfoot's vehicle spotted on the set at the in Michigan, I think. And so apparently that was because they wanted to save the Bumblebee introduction until later on in the film. Now we have the Autobot meetup, and this starts off, well, first of all, I think there was, yes, I didn't talk about that, Optimus Prime's transformation from robot to the G1 type truck. That was awesome. He just took his arms and he kind of created the bumper, and that was just a really cool transformation. I absolutely love that. And that's only the second time Optimus Prime has turned it from a robot to truck mode, and the first time since Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Shanghai battle. Alright, so moving on now to the Autobot meetup, we have the main human cast inside Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime uses his CB radio and he calls out to the Autobots. And then he sees this white Western Star truck, which he scans, and this really blew my mind. I loved how they actually showed them scanning and forming into the vehicles this time around. They did it with Optimus Prime, and they did it later on with Bumblebee. But I just loved it, and you had all the rust shedding off the truck, and you had Optimus Prime forming all of these pieces of the truck, and it was just so amazingly well done. I really loved how they actually showed them transforming, so to speak, into their new vehicle form after scanning. So that was really, really cool. And then we have, of course, where the Autobots actually meet up. And so we have the awesome music playing in the background by Steve Jablonsky, and there was actually one point where kind of actually, there was one, like, about 2 seconds of it where it sounded like pretty, like, spot on to the Transformers Prime theme song, I thought. And so the Autobots meet, Optimus Prime drives in like an awesome hero, and the Autobots are all excited and everything, especially Hound. This is where we get to see Hound for the first time, along with all the other Transformers, all the other Autobots, and we see Bumblebee transform, and he walks up the side of the hill. And this is when I saw it on opening night, my theater went nuts. I mean, everyone was cheering and applauding. It was really awesome opening that experience. And so Optimus Prime says, this is where the rules have changed, and this is where he says that if he sees Harold Attinger, he's going to kill him because of what he's done. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Oh yes, one thing I did want to mention, if you ever see the movie again in theaters, or if you wait until the Blu-ray or DVD, when Optimus Prime first pulls up and he's next to Crosshairs, there is actually a crew truck in reflection of his front bumper, so I kind of noticed that. I think it was a third viewing I noticed there, or maybe a second. Oh yes, one more thing about the Autobot meeting. We get to find out that Drift actually is a triple changer. He also turns into a Cybertronian-like helicopter, and that was really cool. And that was actually the only vehicle that he transforms into in the movie. I know there's, I heard one person say that maybe for a split second you kind of see him transforming from the Bugatti to robot mode when when they break into KSI. But I did not see that personally yet. I'll have to wait until I see it again. But he does transform twice or maybe 3 times into a helicopter form, or out of a helicopter form. So that was really cool. Got to see our first true triple changer. So that was really great. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there, and then I will continue in part 3. Hope you guys are enjoying this little spoiler talk about Transformers Age of Extinction. Sorry they're taking so long and they're so far apart from each other. It's just, compared to the month of June when I was cranking out videos at least like once a day, I just have had trouble getting out videos consistently in this month of July. But that is it for today. Make sure to come back and watch part 3. Give a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not done so yet, if you would like to see some more. So I am Marvel 1995. I'll see you guys next time.